Erins. All the freaking Erins. Oh my god, they're soulmates. Really? Me and who? Me and who? I'm just talking out of my ass, okay? I'm so single. Anyway, even though y'all are grown-ass adults. Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. A bitch is back talking about books. To let you know, I've tried to film this video 3 times. I don't know what it is, but it's annoying me. This is my 3rd time refilming this, so let's get into it. It's holiday season. I'm wearing my holiday sweater, very exciting. I'm wearing my holiday earrings. They're little bow you put on top of the box of a present. I'm an earring gal. I love a good earring. My background's a little different. I finished the anime Fruits Basket. It's become one of my favorite animes of all time. I'm getting a tattoo of the anime next month. That's a little drastic, but it's happening. I already put the deposit in. Yeah, that's kind of life updates. What we're going to be talking about today is going to be a part 2 to my first video on book couples. Would this book couple stay together after the book is over? I've always had opinions on if book couples would stay together after the book is over. Sometimes romance books, you just are along for the ride and it's messy and it's fun to read, but they're not soulmate type books and they wouldn't stay together, especially toxic romances. And then there are other books that just make you feel so single. And I just read another book recently called Icebreaker that I will do a review on in the future that made me feel so fucking single. It was depressing. Like, I wanted to stop reading because I was like, I can't take this. I cannot take this. Like, me and who? Me and who? But anyways, this is gonna be part 2. If you'd like to see a part 3, let me know book couples that you want me to talk about in the comments below, and I will write it into the list. To preface, this is just my opinion. It might not be justified in the slightest. I might not have a rhyme or a reason as to why I have that feeling of why I think this book couple would or would not stay together. Sometimes I just think they will or would not. If we have differing opinions, please let me know as well, and the reason why you think differently. I would like to know. I think it's very, very interesting. Let's just get into it. In my first video, I did talk about the off-campus series, The Deal and The Mistake, and those 2 couples. I didn't talk about the rest of the series because there is 4 books to that series. I didn't talk about The Score or The Goal. Do I think those 2 book couples would stay together? Let's talk about The Score first. The Score follows Allie and Dean, but I ate it up. I read it. It was a fun, wild ride to read. This couple is probably a Trump supporting, racist, internally misogynistic couple. Yeah, I feel that way about Allie and Dean, but I ate this shit up, okay? I just was along for the ride. I borrowed it from the library, you know? Like, I'm not supporting the author, but I do feel as if this book couple probably did vote for Trump and probably listens to Ben Shapiro podcasts. Yeah, that's what I feel about this couple. But would they stay together after the book's over? I think yes. I think they would stay together after the book is over. And here's my reasoning. I think they will go through a lot of ups and downs. They have really good, sexual chemistry with each other. It has been a while, like over a year since I read this book. But I feel like the 3rd act, from what I remember, Dean's entire life, this is like a plot point. Dean's entire life, it's been full of privilege. He's never really had to go through anything, any obstacles in his life, any hardships he's never really had to go through. And that last act really solidified that I think maybe in the future, this book couple could be endgame. Because what happens is that Dean, spoiler, there's going to be spoilers, his friend dies. His best friend dies. It's something that all the characters in the book have to deal with, and Dean doesn't deal with it in the correct way, but I think that 3rd act kind of shows that, he's growing from it. He's maturing. I said this about this entire series is that all these couples give me a very immature vibe. They all feel very fuckboy-esque and internally misogynistic and all of those things. And I feel that way about this entire series, but I eat it up anyway because it's really fun to read what Dean goes through in that last act, solidified that he's learning from life and he's growing up. And if Allie and Dean could get through that obstacle, then they could probably get through anything. So I say, yes, they will stay together for a long time. The goal, Tucker and Sabrina. I have no rhyme, no reason for why I believe this way, but I feel like out of the entire series, even though the goal was the most boring to read, I think this couple would stay together the strongest. I think that Tucker and Sabrina is the absolute strongest couple there is in the entirety of the series because, like I said in the first video, respect. I feel like Tucker just has that respect for Sabrina. He is the sweetest one out of the 4 guys. Tucker and Sabrina have that mutual respect for each other. They've gone through a lot. Horrible trope, accidental pregnancy. But there's just something about it where Tucker just oozes loyal vibes, like super loyal, super whipped, a simp, and I just feel like he would be on his knees for Sabrina for his entire life. I don't know. I have no rhyme, no reason. I kind of forgot about what happened in that book, but that is what I feel about that couple. I feel like they're the strongest one out of all of them, and they just give off very mature vibes as well. That is what I feel for Tucker and Sabrina. I think, yes, they will absolutely stay together, get married, have their cute little family after the book is over. The next book we're going to be talking about is The Spanish Love Deception. Would Catalina and Aaron Blackford stay together after the book is over? Unpopular opinion, controversial opinion, but I think that they wouldn't stay together after the book is over. I would give them 3 years, something like that. I do have my reasons. First of all, I don't really know much about these characters. Yes, Aaron Blackford. Everyone on TikTok was simping for this man. Me too. I was simping for this fictional man for like months. We were like, oh my god, Aaron Blackford this, Aaron Blackford that. It was Aaron Warner and Aaron Blackford. All the Aarons. All the freaking Aarons. All the Aarons. Aaron Yeager. I'm still simping for Aaron Yeager, but anyway, we're not going to talk about that. Everyone was simping for this man, Aaron Blackford. A lot of justification for that, because this man did everything for Catalina. He was so whipped for Catalina. But the thing about this book couple is that there is just nothing about the two of them that have any identifiers. They're just kind of blank slates. Of the things that Aaron does in this book for Catalina are just all things that you would do for your crush when you first have a crush on someone. But there's just nothing about the two of them that feel like people. The only thing I knew about Aaron was that he used to play football in college, and then he got a job in the company that Lena works for, and then that's where they met. I still don't know much about Lena. She likes food, I think, and the color coral, I think it was. But nothing about this couple besides the scenes of tension in The Spanish Love Deception made them solidify to be like, oh my god, they're soulmates. They're gonna stay together forever. Because the things that happen in the book, first of all, kind of immature, not the best at communicating. Lena is very bad at reading signals as well. But the scenes of tension were really, really good. They have good physical connection. But I feel like the way that this relationship started and how the book ended feels like they're still in their honeymoon phase. There's nothing past that makes me solidify that they would stay together past maybe 3 years. I don't know how long this innate feeling of being utterly devastating in love with Lena that Aaron has throughout this entire book, that you can tell, like he's like pining after her, how long that will last to create a lasting couple that would stay forever through having kids and being grandparents, etc., etc. Because there's nothing about these two people that are identifiers, that are special to them two as individuals, that together make a beautiful couple. And that's just me. That's just what I think. Next couple. Speaking of immaturity and not being able to communicate, even though y'all are grown-ass adults, The Love Hypothesis. Olive and Adam. Would this book couple stay together after the book is over? I think yes. Only a little bit more than I do with The Spanish Love Deception. Because Olive and Adam in The Love Hypothesis are very bad communicators, like I said. They are doing the most immature shit as grown-ass adults in a PhD program. Is that what she's in her master's program or whatever the fuck? Y'all are educators, and the way that the relationship started is really weird. Y'all are really gonna fake date as grown-ass adults? Really? Like, y'all fake dating as grown-ass adults. The way that this relationship started was just so immature for their age. It just didn't really make sense. And I think even though Adam is not directly a superior to Olive, there's still that weird kind of like power imbalance. I remember going to college. I could not imagine myself dating a grad student. Like, I couldn't. Because when I was an undergrad, I was just like, oh, like a grad student. Like, I don't know, that's just weird. Like, so like that felt weird to me. But even though they have all of these weird little minuscule things, I do feel like they would stay together, specifically longer than the couple in the Spanish Love Deception. I think Adam and Olive would stay together 50-50 if they're endgame or not, because they both love the same things. They're both in STEM. They understand what it feels like to be in that environment, the things that they've gone through. Adam and the misogynistic way that STEM is, things that women have to go through being in STEM, how Adam always had Olive's back. You could tell that Adam respects the absolute motherfucking shit out of Olive. He respects her so much, and I think that is the reason why I feel like them as a couple would absolutely work, because they don't love each other just through vibes alone. They love each other because they admire their work outside of the relationship. So that is why I say yes, they would stay together after the book is over. Going on to Ali Hazelwood and her books, even though if you read one Ali Hazelwood book, you're kind of reading them all, and I did critique Love on the Brain a lot, I feel like B and Levi in Love on the Brain would stay together even more than Adam and Olive, because Adam and Olive's relationship was really, really immature. I feel like there's less of that in Love on the Brain. Yes, they're still very bad communicators. There is that pining trope where I'm just like, boy, Levi, just tell her how you feel. Just tell her how you feel. Just be honest with each other. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like with these pining tropes, they're just walking in circles. Even though I love it because it gives me that ping in my heart, I feel like Levi and B would stay together because they just share so much similarities. They have the same diet. They're in the exact same NASA program. They also have that mutual respect for each other. And I said this before, and this is a recurring theme in these videos of endgame couples. That is what I feel personally makes or breaks a couple, is that if they have respect for each other outside of the relationship, if they respect each other as people. Because if you don't respect someone as a person, if you don't admire them and respect them and see them as fully real, true beings, and if the book doesn't develop them to be real, true beings, then there could be a lot of problems without respect. Without respect, there's probably not as much loyalty. Without respect, there's probably more fights because you don't care, you're not compassionate about the other person's feelings, especially like in the long term. I'm not a couple therapist. Like, I don't know much about relationships. I've never been in a relationship in my entire life. So I'm just talking out of my ass, okay? I'm just talking out of my ass. I literally don't know what it's like. Not in the slightest. Anyway, I'm so single. That just made me so sad. Anyway, that's that on Love on the Brain. I think they would stay together after the book is over. Next, I think this will be the last one I end on today, because I'm just so pooped because I've tried to film this video 3 times. It is going to be pretty obvious if they would stay together or not. Is A Court of Thorns and Roses. I could actually go through the entirety of Sarah J. Maas couples and talk about this. I feel like, you know, with Sarah J. Maas couples, you'll kind of know. Let me give spoiler warnings here as well for this book, because if you don't know a thing about ACOTAR, you've never read it, stop this video now, go read it, and then come back, read the entire series, at least up until the end of book 2 or book 3, like the beginning of book 3, and then come back, and then we can talk about it. But this will have a spoiler, because couples mix and match. Tamlin and Feyre, no, obviously. Rhys and Feyre, yes, they will stay together after the book's over. I feel like that's pretty obvious just because there's kind of a forced connection in the way that they're mates. Innately, they're soulmates. So they're always going to have that bond that they will not have with any other person in the entirety of the history of the universe of existence. They won't have that physical connection the mating bond requires of them. They will never have that with another person. But On top of that, if this mating bond didn't exist, let's take away the mating bond. Would Feyre and Rhysand stay together after the book is over? I still think yes. The reason why is it does kind of have to do with the mating bond, because the mating bond only really works in this series. It says it's when two people are also equals. And so in that way, Feyre and Rhys are equals in power. Rhys has that respect for Feyre. Rhys sees Feyre in a position of power and sees how much potential she has, how much power she has. They both root for each other so much. So yeah, I think they will stay together after the book is over. Absolutely. That kind of feeling of respect and power and the power dynamics and this and that kind of goes for Aaron and Juliet. Like Aaron and Juliet in the Shatter Me series, I talked about in the first video, they give me Rhys and Feyre vibes, Aaron and Juliet, because of the way that they both attain power and the equality of power that they have, the way that they see each other as like, you're so powerful, that's so hot. That type of situation. So yeah, that I guess is where I'll stop this video for today. I'm so sorry, this one was a little bit chaotic. I didn't know where I was going with it. Thank you so much for watching. Please, if you have any of your own opinions about these couples, let me know in the comments below. If you have any suggestions for future couples that I could do and talk about, also please let me know about that. I do have a list of couples that I do want to talk about and go through. The list is getting a lot shorter, so remind me of couples and books and I will get to them hopefully. I also want to say I am almost at 1,000 subscribers. I just want to say thank you so much for anybody who watches my videos, even if it's just for one or for, a couple, anyone who comments on my videos. I just want to say, like, I appreciate it so much. Thank you for being here with me, talking with me, supporting me, and seeing my little YouTube journey. I appreciate it so much. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. You lose nothing by subscribing. Let me know your comments below. I will see you in the next one.